Well, Phil, it's Christmas, when we're getting even closer to the World Cup next year. Is it still something that interests you?
Very much so. I think it's every footballer or ex-footballer as I am now. You still got World Cup. It's fantastic. I was privileged to play in the World Cup in 1982 in Spain. One of the highlights of my career. And I was present in America for the World Cup in '94, and that was absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute. Seen a couple of games, and the World Cup is special in everybody's
The
minds.
atmosphere must just be fantastic.
It was, and everybody was worrying about sort of how they would host it. And I'll tell you what, they were fantastic. And I think France has got a lot to live up to the way the Americans did it.
I mean, all the other countries, do you think they look differently, England in particular, because of Euro 96?
I think so. Obviously, it was in our own backyard. We were expected to do well, which we did do. But since Terry Venables did really well, but I think since Glenn Hoddle's took over, there's a new meaning for the England team now, and we're getting right down. I think it's 6th in the rankings in the world, and it's coming down all the time. And I think that is because of Glenn Hoddle with the disciplined England team now.
Now, looking at the first game in the World Cup, it's Scotland against Brazil. How do you rate Scotland?
Scotland's chances, they couldn't have picked a worse thing than playing Brazil in their group. But knowing Scotland, Craig Brown has done wonders with the Scottish team. It's not as it was years ago where they had big top quality names and everything to pick from. Now he's moulded a certain element, and they were leaking goals and they weren't able to score. Now they're making sure they do not concede
They've sort of quietly
goals.
come up, haven't they?
They've done excellent, and they don't give much away, so they'll always have a chance, but it's just scoring those goals. I don't think they can score enough. And as we all know, the usual thing is with World Cup games, the opener always ends in a draw, which I think would be a fantastic result for Scotland.
Well, let's look at the teams. We've got Group A here.
Brazil, Scotland, Morocco and Norway. A difficult one because, the Moroccans, don't know too much about them, but Norway, always very, very disciplined. Them, the world rankings have come down a hell of a lot. And that, I think, is what Scotland have got to look at, is to beat Norway. I think they'll beat Morocco, but that Norwegian game is going to be so important to their chances. And they will always be difficult to beat. So I think that is the main crux of that of Group A.
Group B, we've got Italy, Chile, Cameroon and Austria.
Yeah, I think looking at all the groups, I think they're all they're much of a muchness, all the groups. And you've got sort of two teams and then a third one who could be problems. I think, again, Italy, Chile, I think Cameroon are not the force that they used to be in World Cups past, and I think they will be the easy touch. So I would think Italy will qualify, and it'll be between Chile and Austria.
And Group C there, we've got France, South Africa, Saudi Arabia and Denmark.
Yeah, France, I think if they could have picked a group, these were three teams who they'd say, yeah, we'd like them. Seems strange that they're the hosts and it's come across really well. But again, they will qualify. South Africa could be dark horses in this because I think Saudi Arabia will be the whipping boys. I think this is probably the most difficult group. Spain, Nigeria, Paraguay and Bulgaria. Spain have been fantastic. They've had a long, long run, undefeated, and they're coming into it flying high. And I think the Spaniards are going to take a little bit of stopping.
They're quite passionate, aren't they, about the game?
Very passionate. Not got far to travel, which is obviously going to help. And I think they've got such quality and depth. I think they're going to be a shock.
Group E, Holland, Belgium, South Korea and Mexico.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the top two who are going to qualify. Holland, always difficult team. They have got potential there with Bergkamp and Overmars and everything who are based here. And Kluivert, because I think he's had a little bit of a difficult time of it. I don't think he's hit great form, but they do have quality. And then there's Belgium. I actually seen that game in America in '94, and it was brilliant. And Belgium came off tops in that. And those two will qualify without a doubt. Mexico, I'm not sure about them. And of course, they are not good travellers. And I would think them and South Korea will be sitting the next stage out. USA have done leaps and bounds. They've really done exceptionally well. But I think with a group of Germany who are one of my fancies, but USA, Yugoslavia and Iran. Yugoslavia, to go through the playoffs, I think it was winning 7 and 5 in the two games that they played. Absolutely fantastic. And as we know, they've had a lot of, they've split up Yugoslavia now, but to still maintain such high quality players, I would think those two, Germany, Yugoslavia, going to qualify. We come then to our Group G, which is Romania, Colombia, England, Tunisia. I would say we will qualify, without a doubt. We have got the quality. I think we will top the group, but you're looking, Colombia will be a team to beat. They go into games and 1 minute, because they came to Wembley not long ago and they were so poor, it was untrue, and you think this can't be right. But you know, there was nothing at stake. They enjoyed themselves, they were all out shopping and everything, and that was not right. But I think when the stakes are going to be high, which they will be in France, I think we will see the best of the Colombians. And I think maybe Colombia and England might even qualify. Yeah. The last group, Group H, which is Argentina, Japan, Jamaica, Croatia.
Now, Japan and Jamaica, it's the first time they've ever qualified, isn't it?
Yeah, and I went to Japan a few years ago, and the standard of football is really coming on. They've got some top quality players going over there.
Because you
a lot
forget Japan,
of Brazilians.
don't you?
People
you don't really think football Japan, it doesn't really go.
And it hasn't, but I tell you, this J League out there is absolutely fantastic. The fans who go to watch it, very, very passionate for it. And they are sort of an outside chance. Jamaica, I think, are going to go and enjoy the competition.
So, Phil, who do you see in the final?
I think it's a difficult one, because what I'd like to see is Brazil, England in the final. How the groups pan out after the first stage, I'm not sure whether that will actually be capable of doing. But Brazil or England, Brazil, because obviously they played a beautiful game, and I would like them to be in the final. I would think, if I have to be honest, that they will be the eventual winners. But I think England are going to be in with one hell of a chance. And I think maybe if somebody sorts Brazil out on the way, well, we might see England lifting the World Cup. And I think it would do absolute wonders. Because this time next year, next Christmas, I think we'll still be celebrating.